Hello and welcome to another edition of Professor Speaks. This week we're going to talk about the flu vaccine, self-fitting hearing aids, fake prescription drugs, and also the norovirus outbreak. Before we get into that, I'd like to remind you to hit like, subscribe, and hit the little bell for notifications. Hello and welcome to another edition of Professor Speaks. My name is Alex Hernandez. Alongside me as always is Dr. Craig Stern. And today we're going to be talking about a plethora of topics.
Wow,
but
impressive.
See, I read a dictionary today. So for our first topic, we're going to be talking about influenza. So it's that time of season where the new flu virus is getting out and we need a new flu vaccine. And what most people don't know is that 80,000 people died from the flu last year. So it's a very important topic. It's a very dangerous topic. And it's also polarizing.
Yes.
So what we need to talk about is why not get vaccinated when you can see the results are that people are dying from it?
I think we've talked about this before, and obviously this is a major prevention mechanism,
right?
Not just for yourself, but in what is known as herd mentality, meaning you're influencing everybody else. But bottom line is that there are a lot of different flu viruses, and some people have said to me, well, you know, I get the flu anyways, even if I have the shot, so it doesn't matter.
Right.
There's about a 67% activity rate where people don't get the flu because they get the shot. So if you want to be in the 67%, you get the flu shot.
Right. It's not about just keeping yourself from getting the flu. It's also about keeping others from getting the flu.
Right. And for those that it doesn't work, you still get the flu. Frequently, you get a less virulent form because you've got the flu shot. But more importantly, there's about 144 different strains of flu. The flu shots deal with maybe 6 of them. So clearly, there are going to be strains, depending on the year, like last year that was horrible, for it. So you can't stop everything. And clearly, manufacturers are working on things that's the super flu in order to deal with it.
Right.
Bottom line is, get the flu shot, protect yourself, protect your family, protect others, and at the end of the day, hopefully you won't get it. If you do, hopefully it'll be at a lesser strain. It's a good thing to do.
Well, and just to clarify, I mean, you get the flu shot. If you still get the flu, it prevents yourself from getting further complications from getting the flu.
Hopefully.
Well, yeah, I mean, add it to the disclaimer. It's in the fine print. So moving on, we also want to talk about self-fitting hearing aid controlled by the user. So when I first saw this topic, I was, what are you talking about? What are we talking about here? What is a self-fitting hearing aid?
And you've been bothering me about getting something.
You heard me, right?
In the past and currently, there are hearing aids you have to go to specialists in order to have them fitted so that you can wear them. There has always been...
stay in the ear.
So they stay in the ear, that they're fitted right, that they're the right noise level, etc. Because people have always complained that it's fine that I can hear you right now, but if I'm in an open area where a bunch of people are talking or there's a lot of ambient noise, that can be a problem in order to hear.
Right.
Bottom line here is that there are some new hearing aids, some coming out from Bose and others, that now are self-fitting. You don't need to go to somebody. You can just buy it at retail and get it.
Okay.
Which sounds like a good thing. You kind of get rid of the middleman. If that's a good thing or not, I'm not sure. But bottom line here is that the FDA has to keep up with all this new technology.
Right.
There's new technology coming out every day. They have to keep up with it. They do have to have standards for safety so that the people who are doing it don't have extreme circumstances where it further erodes their hearing if safety standards aren't followed. Other issues with regard to other people around, if there's perhaps a wrong adjustment and it's a sharp, shrill sound for others. So clearly the FDA and others need to keep these things safe for people, need to keep up with all the new technology. But there is new technology on the ground, and I would say to everybody that a lot of this technology is not coming out of the healthcare forum. It's coming out of technology, and so
Right.
that's an area where we need to address it and just watch what's happening.
Also,
it can be a big improvement.
Right, and also we're talking about hearing aids here. So what exactly are we talking about when in regards to patient safety?
Well, patient safety in this regard is that if you don't adjust it right, you can have shrill sounds so much that it deflects your attention from whatever you're doing, whether you're driving or whether you're walking or something else, and you could get harmed. Furthermore, you might harm somebody else if it's a shrill sound, and if it isn't a safe system, and that unfortunately transfers to other people. So there's a host of different things that can happen. Bottom line is protect the user, which is incredibly important. And if there is something that would protect somebody else, not unlike somebody that's sitting on looking at their phone or texting while they're driving, you want to make sure that there's appropriate kind of safety so that other people are not involved as well.
That's fair. And then moving on, we also got a topic called fake prescription drugs. So what exactly are fake prescription drugs as opposed to just regular
drugs? It's hard to tell. With the internet, people can go on the internet and can buy drugs based on the fact that either one, they want the drug and they don't want to have to go through a doctor for a prescription, or
which is illegal,
or that they see that there's a lower price than what they would pay, so they want to get it. Unfortunately, on the internet, there's a lot of people who are bad actors who are putting products out there that are not really the right thing, or they're not controlled, they're not the right strength, or otherwise. And so it's terribly important that you check it out. Just going to the internet, finding something may not be the right thing. You need to go to legitimate purveyors, make sure that they have checked it out so that it's the real stuff and you're getting something that isn't fake or phony or otherwise. I know we use that word a lot today on news and the rest, but that's not what we're talking about here.
To be fair, they're probably really good at putting bad stuff out there.
Could.
Well, how do we stop that kind of practice? How does
information? You've got to check it out. You see that there's somebody, and it normally would cost whatever $3 a tablet. Somebody's advertising it for $1. You've got to check out and make sure that it's the real stuff, that they can validate and show you that it's the real thing, that there's laboratory data, etc., to show it, and check out who the purveyor is so that you know that they're real and that they're not some phony bathtub group that's doing this.
It's a scary thought.
It is scary. It's very scary.
Moving on, and it's a topic that affects most of us who live here in Los Angeles, but also in other metro areas such as Seattle, San Francisco, and there was a huge article in the LA Times about the homeless population in San Francisco, and it's a big problem, especially health-wise, because of things like the norovirus. Really quickly, can we explain that to the
there are a huge number of viruses, some of which cause gastrointestinal problems, some of which cause other problems with regard to colds and flu and everything else. There is a very common virus that occurs if people are not washing their hands or washing frequently.
And sadly, it's 21 million cases were reported. I mean, that's not all the cases.
That's not all the cases. 21 million cases in a year that occurred. There is evidence that it occurred in Seattle. It's occurring in homeless people. There was an issue that occurred at USC, the University of Southern California, in the dorms. All of this is about that too. Yeah. Thank you. This is not a UCLA versus this.
Go Bruins.
But the bottom line here for this is people have to wash their hands. If there are problems where there are potential viruses and people are getting gastrointestinal problems like cramps and diarrhea and vomiting, etc., you need to stay away from those people. You need to wash your hands. You need to get them to wash their hands and keep them isolated. It's about 48 hours. Once that's over, it's over. But you need to make sure it doesn't spread because people are not using appropriate hygiene. So most important thing, wash your hands, wash your hands, wash your hands.
And wash your hands with soap and water. I mean, we're not just talking about the antibacterial cream or stuff you put on here. Just really wash your hands. Even if you don't have the norovirus, wash your hands, please. And anything else you'd like to add to that?
No, I think that's it.
And that pretty much covers up the news for today. So we're going to work on getting these episodes a little shorter. And also like to remind you to go to propharmaconsultants.com. We have free information there for you to just collect at your disposal. We have an archive of many different articles written by Dr. Stern. We also have a plethora of other topics and pages you can look at. Please feel free to visit, look around, and contact us if you have any questions. Also, we will be out of town next week, and we'll be back at you with another episode. And remember to hit like, subscribe, and hit the little bell for notifications.